I pray. I pray, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? I tithe religiously, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? And then I read this book and realized maybe I wasn't listening.
Contrary wins. For those who want to give up but need to know greater is coming. Buy now on HeDidNotForgetMe.com.
Want a live interview with Viral Hip Hop News? Email me, Sam Ant at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. Let's go.
Some stuff happened last night. Shout out to everybody out there, man. I know you ain't seen us in here in a minute, but we back.
Yeah, we doing
at it, doing the thing, man. But so last night when everybody was sleeping, it came across that Lil Durk was arrested for a murder for hire plot. Now the charges stem from an August 2022 murder of Sativa Robinson, a cousin of fellow rapper Quando Rondo in West California. She or he, I don't know if she or he, was fatally shot at a gas station. They're saying that Lil Durk offered money and lucrative music opportunities to anyone willing to kill Quando Rondo. Now, prosecutors have presented evidence suggesting, this is a retaliation for the murder of King Von. We all seen that on video. It was very tragic. And Durk has kind of been quiet. But apparently since then, the feds have been tracking him. And they also say, right, that he, used company credit cards or credit cards attached to OTF to pay for flights, rental vehicles, for anybody who, to sending people out there to go after the people or the person that was actually killed. It's deep. It gets deep. He is facing a death penalty, possibly life in prison. Right now, he's in Broward County Jail, awaiting the feds to be transferred to federal custody. Can't say we didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
Another part to this is that one of his homies wore a wire. So they got all the evidence they need, it looks like, to take Lil Durk down. But look, he's been through this before. He got off. Because remember the videos the pictures and videos that people see out there, he was sitting with little King Von one time. Remember, they was on trial, and we used to say, yo, what happened to Durk's case? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, the charges got dropped. Mm-hmm. But maybe they was dropping those charges because they had something bigger to get him on. Maybe. But hey, that's just my thought. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Or fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I don't think the feds are going to get fooled twice if in the event that he happened to get off during that King Von situation. Like you said, we don't know. This ain't it. Durk's done, man. And it's something that we've seen for years. And it's this situation, this story has so many layers to it, right? Because we knew that, and it was well documented that he was doing a lot of dirt out there in Chicago, a lot of real dirt out there in Chicago. And often when we talked about Durk, even though it did seem like the last, let's say, solid year or so, he did look like he was trying to change his life. Let's just call it for what it is. This man has been a monster out there for what we see doing this thing and doing whatever the case may be. But it's sad because when we seen that situation happen, when we seen it play out, it's almost like you have people talking about it as if this was WWE and we just watched another episode of Raw or SmackDown. And they were just talking about it as if these real people were characters and they're just all playing it out for our entertainment. And I'm not saying that Durk wouldn't have called these people out or wouldn't have put these, whatever the case, whatever he's done, right, whatever he's being accused of. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen but there was a lot of public gas thrown toward that situation on what he's going to do, what's going to happen, street this, street that.
Right.
And these people are so manipulated and influenced by it. Even the strongest minded people, so we think, are going to be influenced and resort to nonsense, man. This is, like I said, I'm not surprised, but when you look at the totality of the situation and all the things that kind of fed into it, we're looking at an entire generation of young men completely exterminated out there.
Yeah.
And it's sad, dog. And I hate to end every time we talk about something like this with it's sad, but shit, it's sad.
I mean, what else could he say?
You know what I mean?
But nah, I think everybody and mama knew that they wasn't going to just sit there and let King Von go out like that.
Yeah.
But we just kind of see the details of it and to see that he may have slipped up on a few things. Now, you can't do nothing about the dude wearing the wire. But for you to allegedly, because it's all alleged right now, use business credit cards to pay for flights and shit like that for people and rental cars in order to put people in position to go take out Quando Rondo, because they saying that he was the intended target, or anybody close to him was the target. So look, when we see stuff in real time, and they saying slide for Von and all this type of shit, the feds are seeing it too. The police are seeing it too, and all it takes is them just watching. We just gonna watch. We gonna just follow this guy around, watch his Instagram, watch his social media, maybe tap a couple of his phone calls, because you already got retaliation killings going on probably before he even made it big like that. Mm-hmm. So he was already probably on a radar. And then another thing that couple years ago, maybe last year, it was like a big O-Box sweep, and rumors started then about Durk. But then we seen the people run up in his crib out in Atlanta, him and his girl shot, and then it seemed like he tried to take a turn, like he maybe felt something was happening. He turned Muslim. He got the keys to the city last week.
It's crazy.
But it seemed like it appears like once you do a certain level, even a small level in Durk, you can't really turn your life around like that, because it's going to come back to haunt you. And it's funny we saying dirt and Durk, how they go hand in hand. You do dirt, your name is Durk, but it's crazy, man, just to see. Because I thought it was like, all right, I thought he was putting this, because remember he had the song with J. Cole. So I'm like, yeah, he putting this shit behind him. He's growing up. But a couple bad mistakes that he made look like it's coming back to haunt that young man. It's the environment that these guys grow up in. I'm not making excuses for him. He grew up in that environment where it was killer be killed, killer bang bang, murder, drugs. I get it. So that's the environment that he grew up in. But it's sad to see him go out like this.
It's crazy. I was listening, because obviously a lot of stuff started circulating back up when the news started breaking. And I seen it early yesterday, but the sources that were dropping it, no disrespect to anybody who happened to be dropping it first, but you got to make sure you confirm shit like this before you go ahead and run and Durk got this, Durk, because you got to make sure.
Yeah, it was
you know what I mean?
There, yeah.
And until you started, it really got confirmed early this morning. It was like, damn, this is reality. But as stuff was going on, you remember when they did that episode when it was circulating with Gilly and Wallow was kind of shedding tears on how his cousin. He had to watch his cousin be carried in by his grandma after he got killed, and he had to, not his brother, excuse me, and he had to forgive his killers. And in forgiving his killers, he was able to take care of his mother and his grandmother. And some people don't adhere to that, and I can't even say I necessarily adhere to that. But in that circumstance, in that situation, you knew Wallow's intent was to save all them brothers' lives in there who was on that shit, and he knew it. And he was looking Durk in the face, and he kind of knew. People knew. You know what I'm saying? And people tried to outreach and tried to help and tried to lend a hand. I don't even want to act like all the coverage was negative, because people were genuinely trying to help. But, man, this is just...
Some people just too far in.
And he was too far gone, though.
Right.
Too far gone. And that's why I think it doesn't matter what he was doing to turn his life around, because karma, or whatever you want to call it, the universe was going to get that get back. And the feds don't give a damn that you were throwing out hits for people. They don't care what blood was shed in order with whatever they got to do to get to you. The more, the better. Word. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right, Wet, you did that? Cool. All right, keep doing it. We're going to stockpile it as much as possible, because like I said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, and I'm not allowing that to happen twice. And now you see the charges that are brought up. It's life or literally death.
Right.
It's his outcomes. I want to ask you now, oh God, because I know it's very early. A lot of this is starting to kind of get into the mix, and it'll probably be some time before we figure out the outcome of the situation.
Right.
But early senses of what you think is going to happen in this situation.
I think that he's going to do a lot of time in prison. If the evidence is as heavy. And this, like you was even talking about, like with the Diddy thing. They found baby oil. And we got people alleging a lot of things. They're showing like, okay, look, they paid for this. He's connected to this murder. Boom, boom. Here's the evidence. Yep. Concrete things. We got wiretap. We got to do it on a wiretap. That's a little different than what's going on with the Diddy's. But even with all that, he still, has the presumption of innocence. It don't look good, and he's beat a murder case before, but I just feel like he's going to end up, hopefully they don't go for the RICO, because it could be one of those type of cases, because
we've seen less.
Yeah, we've seen a lot less, and, now, again, you paying for people to go places, you calling shots now, so hopefully it don't go there. But this is, to me, this is silly as the whole, the Young Dolph shit. How Big Juke allegedly paid $50,000 and it came from that label or whatever. So it's just like these dudes is just moving reckless, and it's always that one little thing. You might get away because they said Vaughn was a monster.
Yeah.
He had all these bodies. Some people may argue that was his karma, getting what he got.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that. Some people may argue that.
Yeah, people say
but the street don't, the way to think, especially in Chicago, the forgiveness thing, you could throw that out the window. Ain't nobody forget. I don't care who cries in front of you. I don't care, and it was genuine what Wallow was doing. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Right.
And I agree with him, what he's saying.
Right.
For the most part. But these dudes is emotionless. These dudes is pilled up. You took my homie, I'm taking your homie out, and maybe your son and your mom too. That's the time they on. It's a dangerous, deadly culture that needs to be changed, but it's not going to be changed for somebody just talking about it. It ain't.
Yeah.
As much as we want things to happen, and hopefully we may reach 1 or 2 people, what's the reality of that really happening now?
Let me ask you this. Does the media, and I'm talking about on all levels, right? And I'm talking about more so, and I'm going to call out certain platforms because for the context of this question I have to, like academics and like Adam 22 and various platforms like that kind of sensationalize what's really going on in the streets.
Right.
That ultimately will bring you up during your rise, but will definitely chronicle your demise at the same time. Do platforms like that assume any responsibility in the destruction of what we see out here within our hip hop communities and youth, as it pertains to how they document what the real blended blur between rap and real life, and how they document it for our entertainment? Do you think, in your opinion, they assume any responsibility, or is it strictly on them brothers out there doing what they doing in these streets?
That's a hard question because I think some do. Depending on how I think you go about the information, how you disseminate the information. Some don't, but I always use the example of a conflict going on and the Gaza Strip. And the guys we was reporting the news, like, this person blew up this person, the reporter standing there, saying, look, this person did this. Are they at fault for it?
Right.
Or are they just documenting that? Now, doing that, you put yourself in harm's way.
Right.
Because you can catch a stray or something like that. But, I think when people begin to start to instigate, that's when it becomes something totally different. Or pick a particular side and try to become, biased to a particular side. And then it's like, you're not going to really, you don't really see people reporting the news where they live at, right? It's all like academic. He was in Jersey talking about Chicago.
Right.
Like nobody's going to do, because they understand like like you don't see us doing, news where we're here reporting shit going on in the street here. But we might talk about Chicago, maybe some shit going on in Philly. Because you understand it could be dangerous. Mm-hmm. We found people in Chicago. What's the dude that got killed? I'm not gonna put his name out there. Everybody knows the blogger and the blogger that have gotten killed because they were just too deep in. They going to one block interviewing, going to another block interviewing. But that it's a part. Media is a part of the hip hop culture.
Yeah,
it always has been. It's just about, to me, how you do it and how you disseminate that message. At the end of the day,
I think there's a very big difference between the play-by-play of necessarily what's going on in the community and, all right, well, this person's beefing with this person, and then they reading all the, because unfortunately, our generation, we didn't grow up on that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, so there was no influence.
Yeah.
Like, we may pick up a magazine and be influenced by what we see there, but this internet game is different because you got a billion people that can comment and gas you like a motherfucker. And if you ain't on your shit, and most young people ain't, like you just said, they's perked out, they murked out, but they definitely on them phones.
Yeah.
So if they seeing all these comments and they getting gassed up and they feel a need to have to prove something, and you got this person here that's getting millions of views, gassing it like I'm whack 100s and shit. You 40 fucking years old doing this shit, but they get gassed by that. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily their fault because they may go do it anyway. That's the product of the environment.
Right.
It may happen regardless, but I feel like that, and I think to a certain level, you can start seeing academics kind of take that on. There's a responsibility.
That's it.
That you have because there's real lives in play. And whether you think you're right or wrong in that situation, you do have influence, and influence could potentially help or really hurt a situation.
Just report the facts.
That's it.
You see some channels out there that got a whole damn make up some shit like, oh, this person is a suspect, and I think this person did. Like, whoa, You know, and you see, and every time somebody gets killed, it's, they play an investigator from the couch and shit. Like, you putting clues together for the fucking couch. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. And you making stuff up and you putting real people in danger. We've seen it a lot of times. Oh, this person killed this person. Somebody died. Rich homie died. You should check on his girlfriend. Maybe his brother did it. Like, yo, that's crazy. Shit like that, to me, is dangerous as hell. Yeah. And that's the stuff I don't condone like that. Yeah. Now, if they say, if a report comes and says, look, the cops are looking into so-and-so, then it's like, all right, let them do their job. The detectives, the FBI, they get paid to do their job. They're at the scene of the crime. They got the intel. We don't sitting on the couch. We're looking at what they say and formulating our story. So don't become them without being them. Word. And that's the dangerous part about this you see people doing.
Even to a certain degree, people reading reports and people's files and police reports. If you ain't really qualified to do that, you need to stay the fuck up off there and stop doing that, because you really throwing out real divisive shit that you ain't gonna deal with the consequences from. I think that was well said, man.
Yeah, especially you ain't, and then people like that ain't showing their face. Yep. They hiding. You don't know who this person is. They making up all this shit. It's like, look, we out here. Yeah. We showing our face. People know where our locations was. Our locations was public at a point in time in certain studios that we went to. Yep. So it's like, we putting it all on the line. People gonna know who we are. You sitting in the basement, nobody know who you are, with Cheetos and your underwear and shit with a Coca-Cola, making up shit, affecting real lives. I don't condone that.
At all. Yeah, I kind of something to close this out, man. Durk, I don't want to see this happen, Doug. I really don't. But I think that because they threw it out there and we've seen people in the past and that shit don't happen overnight, it does take time. I think they're going to really fight for the death penalty, man.
Really? You think they're going to try to kill this dude?
I think they're going to try to kill him. Wow. I really do. I mean, in the most legal way possible, because of everything that's happened and everything that they're kind of laying out. This is the first stage of what we know and what we see. Once that trial happens and it starts really laying out, man, this shit couldn't get ugly, and I hope it don't. If he gonna have to do some time, do life, and you know what I mean, because what is his dad still in jail?
His dad was out.
His dad's out.
Yeah, I think when they had the little reunion and shit.
Oh, right, cool. But I don't want to keep continuing to see generations just get destroyed and fall, and we've already seen enough damage get done to that one out there, so it's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, it is definitely very unfortunate, man. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Yeah. Like I said, it was like inklings out there yesterday. Little stories out there, and next thing you know, boom. I didn't think it was gonna happen that fast. That was pretty quick. They got arrested.
Mug shots out and shit. It was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. So.
But didn't we hear something about a week ago about something that happened out there? Like people got swept up?
No, that was the same day. That's what I heard. It might have been a week ago, but I heard about it yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm like, I was like, we could talk about this, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow.
Right.
And then, obviously overnight, you wake up and you see the mug shot. I'm like, damn.
Got him.
That took a whole, another turn. But we seen this coming. Yep. We've been hearing little things through the grapevine about certain, not that we got no crazy sources or nothing like that, but just saying shit on the social media.
Yep.
And putting two and two together like, yo, this shit don't look good.
But never one time in those years that we've been hearing stuff, never came on here and tried to speculate, never came on here and tried to gas it. But we was hearing shit. It didn't look good, man, for a while. And then it was a lot going on, man. But.
And think about it, because remember him, he's one of those guys that a lot of people around him been dying.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Like his brother got killed.
Yep.
Vaughn, and he just sitting there like unscathed. Not that I want anything to happen to the young man.
Not, but yeah.
But it's just like, it's almost like poetic justice a little bit. Like, damn, like, your time is coming, my dude. Maybe he felt that.
He did feel that.
I think he felt it.
He felt it. Because, I think he's born, I seen, 92, October?
Yeah, he's much older than us. Younger than us, as
you
say.
In the little early 30s. You know what I'm saying? You start kind of slowing shit down and start seeing things for what it is once you start hitting those type numbers. So, yeah, man.
And the music, I think he talked about it. That man was going through a lot of pain, man.
Yep.
That's the drug abuse he was going through. I think he went to rehab, and he was in rehab for a time, and he turned Muslim. A lot of people think going to God, so-called, or Allah, was going, some people it may work. Some people just don't, man. That whatever you done will come back to get you.
Yeah, and it's a shame that the transitions and the growth that he's going to have in his life is going to be behind bricks, and we'll never really get to enjoy that. It's unfortunate, man.
Yep.
Very unfortunate.
Yep.